When I first met Emily, I thought she was the definition of forever. She had this laugh that could melt away the worst of my days, and eyes that convinced me love wasn't just a fairy tale. For years, I built my life around her, from the small morning routines we shared, to the late-night talks where we promised each other the world. I gave her my loyalty, my trust, and every ounce of my heart. But love, as I learned, is sometimes not destroyed by tragedy or distance. Sometimes it's shattered by choice, a selfish one, masked as just a mistake. It started with the late nights. Emily began staying out longer than usual, her excuses always neatly packaged. Girls' night, work dinner, just grabbing drinks. At first, I believed her. Why wouldn't I? She was my wife, my partner, the person I thought had my back no matter what. But as the nights multiplied, and the lies tangled themselves into her stories, my trust began to feel more like denial. One night, she came home smelling of cologne that wasn't mine. My chest tightened, but instead of confrontation, I buried the suspicion. I told myself she deserved her fun, that I was being paranoid. But deep down, a storm was brewing, and it was only a matter of time before it broke. The storm arrived 3 weeks later. I was coming home from work early, holding flowers I'd picked up for her. I wanted to surprise her, maybe remind us both of the love we once had. But when I stepped inside, the surprise was mine. Emily wasn't alone. She was in our living room, laughing a little too sweetly at something a man sitting across from her had said. Their closeness, their stolen glances, their unspoken familiarity. It told me everything words couldn't. The flowers slipped from my hand and scattered on the floor. The sound startled her, and when her eyes met mine, guilt shot across her face, before she quickly masked it with irritation. "David, you're home early," she said, her tone sharp, as if I were the one intruding. I didn't yell. I didn't throw accusations. I just stared at her, memorizing the woman she had become. The man, smug and careless, excused himself quickly, leaving the air heavy with the kind of silence only betrayal can summon. Who was he? I asked, though the answer was obvious. Her lips trembled, then steadied. "Just a friend," she lied, the way liars do when they know the truth is already bleeding through the cracks. Something inside me snapped then, but not in the way I expected. There was no rage, no begging, no desperate plea to make her choose me. Instead, there was clarity. Cold, quiet clarity. She had chosen her temporary pleasure. The thrill of secrecy, the intoxication of forbidden laughter. And in doing so, she had broken the very foundation of us. That night, I packed my things. Emily watched, stunned into silence, as I folded my life into a suitcase. She tried to stop me, her tears finally spilling. "It was nothing, David. Just fun. I didn't mean to hurt you." But fun was exactly the problem. She had traded our forever for nights of fun. She had gambled my trust for fleeting excitement. I walked out the door without looking back. For the first time in years, I felt both empty and free. Life after Emily wasn't easy. At first, her ghost haunted every corner. The way she used to sip coffee in the morning, the smell of her perfume on my clothes, the echo of her laugh in my head. But slowly, the wounds began to scab. I found myself again. I rebuilt piece by piece without her. Years passed. And then one evening, fate placed Emily back in my path. I saw her in a cafe, sitting alone by the window. But she wasn't the Emily I remembered. The glow in her eyes was gone, replaced by shadows. Her smile, once effortless, looked forced and brittle. She was thinner, older, burdened. She noticed me, and for a moment, I saw the same recognition flicker in her eyes. She tried to smile, but it faltered. And then she looked down, almost ashamed. I didn't approach her. I didn't need to. In that instant, I understood. Life had given her the punishment I never could. Her temporary pleasure, the thrill, the late nights, the reckless laughter, had dissolved long ago. And what remained was permanent pain. The loneliness of knowing she had destroyed the one person who truly loved her. The regret of realizing the fun she chased had no future, no soul, no meaning. I walked away from that cafe lighter than I had felt in years. For closure doesn't always come from apologies or explanations. Sometimes, closure is watching the one who broke you carry the weight of their own choices. And that was my closure. Her pain wasn't my revenge, it was karma's. And as cruel as it sounds, it was also my peace. Because Emily broke us for temporary pleasure. But her permanent pain became my closure.